Let me tell you something that will shock you. Women are not falling for the men you think they are. The loud ones, the funny ones, the ones showing off their cars, abs, or money. They might get attention, but they don't get respect. They don't get desire. Because what really drives a younger woman crazy isn't what you give her. It's what you don't. It's the silence between your words, the calmness in your energy, the confidence in your restraint. That's the secret no one talks about. The real game is invisible. You're about to understand a level of attraction that most men never even reach. The kind that doesn't rely on looks or age. It relies on power, not the loud kind that shouts for validation, but the quiet kind that pulls her in without effort. When you learn how to control your energy instead of wasting it, women will start to feel something around you they can't explain. Their guard will drop. Their curiosity will rise. And they'll start thinking about you even when you haven't said a word. This is where the rules change. Because once you master presence, emotional tension, and restraint, you stop chasing and she starts chasing you. You become the man who doesn't need to speak to be felt, who doesn't need to prove to be desired. Every glance, every pause, every word becomes a weapon of attraction. So, if you think you've heard everything about flirting, you haven't heard this. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to drive younger women crazy. Not by trying harder, but by being the kind of man she never saw coming. Stay until the end, because what you're about to learn will change how women respond to you forever. Let's get something straight. Women today, especially younger women, are starving for presence. They've had enough of men who talk too much, try too hard, and never see them. You can tell her she's beautiful 100 times, and it won't move her heart one bit if your eyes wander when she speaks. Because what she's craving isn't attention, it's presence. The kind that makes her forget the noise around her, the kind that makes her feel like time just stopped. That's what she remembers. That's what drives her crazy. Presence is not about standing still or being silent. It's about being awake in the moment. When you talk to her, do you really listen? Or are you already planning what to say next? Because she can feel that. She can feel when your words come from habit instead of focus. A man with presence doesn't need to prove he's interesting. He is interesting because he's fully there. When his eyes meet hers, he's not scanning, not judging, not drifting. He's simply in that moment. And that moment becomes magnetic. You see, women live in a world that constantly pulls them out of themselves. Social media, pressure, attention from 100 different men who all sound the same. But when she meets a man whose energy is anchored, something shifts. Suddenly she feels calm, grounded, curious, because it's rare. Men who are emotionally present make women feel safe. Not because they protect her physically, but because they make her feel seen without being consumed. Most men think flirting is about making her laugh, being confident, or using clever lines. But the truth is, all of that fades. The only thing that lingers is how she felt in your presence. Did you rush? Did you dominate the conversation? Or did you make her feel like the only person that existed for those few minutes? Because that's what younger women crave. A man who has mastered the art of slowing down. You want to drive her crazy. Don't rush the interaction. Let her energy come to you. Watch her speak. Study her tone. Respond when it matters. Speak less but with weight. When you do that, you start to create emotional gravity. She starts to orbit around your calmness. Your composure becomes the very thing she can't resist. Understand this. Presence is power. It's the quiet dominance that doesn't need validation. It's the confidence that says, I don't need to impress you, I just need to understand you. When you walk into a room and carry that kind of energy, people notice. Women notice. You become the kind of man who doesn't chase because your energy pulls. This is psychological. Women are intuitive. They feel energy faster than they process logic. A man who is scattered, reactive, or nervous transmits instability. But a man who's calm, measured, and emotionally contained, he becomes a mirror for her to relax into. She feels her own feminine energy rise when his masculine presence is steady. That's the chemistry most men never learn to build. Presence also means you are not afraid of silence. Silence is not awkward. It's powerful. It gives her space to feel. It gives her time to wonder. And that wonder becomes attraction. The man who can sit in silence without breaking it is dangerous, because he knows he doesn't have to fill the air with words to be noticed. Every second of quiet becomes a conversation between two nervous systems. She feels your energy, your focus, your attention, and it drives her mind wild. You want to know why presence beats looks, status, or even age? Because it creates emotional depth. You can't fake presence. It's a reflection of how grounded you are within yourself. When a woman senses that, she starts to relax her guard. She stops performing. She becomes more feminine, more open, more alive, because she feels safe in your awareness. And once she feels that, no other man stands a chance. So next time you talk to her, stop trying to be interesting. Stop performing. Just be there. Let your energy speak louder than your words. Let your eyes linger long enough for her to feel your intention. Let your silence say what your mouth can't. Because presence doesn't demand, it invites. It doesn't impress, it impacts. And if you master that, you won't just flirt with her mind. You'll touch her soul. That's what younger women crave, even if they never admit it. Not a man who performs, but a man who exists fully. So ask yourself, are you the man who talks, or the man who's felt before he even says a word? Because one disappears the moment he leaves, and the other stays in her mind for years. Flirting is not about what you say, it's about what you don't say. The real power lies in emotional tension, that invisible energy that builds between two people when words fall short. It's not about telling her how beautiful she is, it's about letting her feel it without you ever saying a word. The way your eyes pause on her, the tone of your voice when you say her name, the deliberate space between your words, all of it sends a message far louder than compliments ever could. Most men think attraction is created by constant validation, by giving her attention until she finally gives in. But that's not attraction. That's exhaustion. A younger woman doesn't fall for the man who talks the most. She falls for the man who knows when to hold back. She becomes obsessed with the one who knows how to create tension. That thin, electric line between desire and discipline, because tension makes her feel alive. It awakens something primal inside her. You see, emotional tension is the art of restraint. It's not the physical touch that drives her crazy. It's the anticipation of it. It's that moment when she feels your presence, your gaze, your attention, and wonders what might happen next. The space between what's happening and what could happen is where the fire begins. It's psychological, it's chemical, it's powerful, and only a man who understands emotional control can create it. You have to understand, women are not wired to respond to chaos. They respond to rhythm. They want to feel something, not be told something. The man who can build emotional tension knows how to use silence as a weapon and patience as a seduction. He knows when to speak softly, when to pause, when to let the air between them do the talking. Because in that space, her imagination takes over, and that's when she starts thinking about you even when you're not around. This is what most men miss. Attraction is not built through intensity, it's built through contrast, a moment of warmth followed by a pause, a touch that lingers then disappears, a glance that locks, then looks away. You give her just enough to feel your interest, but not enough to fully understand it. That uncertainty keeps her engaged, that mystery keeps her curious, because a woman's mind is wired to chase emotional resolution. She wants to understand you, decode you, feel you more deeply. When you master the art of tension, you become the puzzle she can't stop trying to solve. But tension only works when it's real, when it comes from genuine awareness, not manipulation. You can't fake it. You can't pretend to be calm while your energy screams insecurity. Emotional tension is created when you're truly at ease in yourself, when you're comfortable enough to let moments breathe, when you can handle silence without fidgeting, eye contact without fear, and connection without rushing to control it. That's when you shift from being another man chasing attention to being the one who commands it effortlessly. Think of it this way. Attraction thrives in uncertainty. When she knows exactly what's coming, the magic dies. But when your energy is calm yet unpredictable, she feels that pull. One moment you're warm and inviting, the next you're silent and mysterious. She can't quite figure you out, and that drives her wild. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel something she can't fully explain. She wants her heart to race, her mind to wander, her body to anticipate. And only emotional tension can create that chaos within calm. There's also a deeper psychological layer here. Emotional tension speaks to her subconscious. It bypasses logic and hits the feeling center of her mind. When she experiences that kind of energy from you, she starts associating your presence with emotional awakening. She feels seen, but also challenged, desired, but not controlled. And that combination, safety with uncertainty, is the most intoxicating emotional cocktail a man can offer. Flirting through tension is not about manipulation. It's about connection. It's about communicating without words, touching without contact, inviting her into your world without demanding entry into hers. It's subtle, it's patient, and it's powerful beyond measure. And when done right, it creates a kind of attraction that no physical touch can replicate. So the next time you speak to her, remember, don't fill every silence. Don't rush to close the gap. Let it breathe. Let her feel that quiet pull between you. Let her mind wander to places you haven't yet gone. Because that's what creates the obsession. Not your looks, not your charm, but your ability to make her feel something deeper than words. And that's the secret most men will never master, the art of tension. The ability to make her miss you when you're still right in front of her. Because once she feels that, she's already yours, not through touch, but through energy. Restraint is the most misunderstood form of power. Men often think dominance means taking charge, chasing hard, and showing desire openly. But the truth is, the most magnetic men are the ones who know how to hold back. They understand that real attraction doesn't come from giving everything. It comes from giving just enough. The man who controls his impulses controls the room, and that's the kind of control that drives younger women crazy. You see, restraint is not weakness. It's emotional discipline. It's knowing that your attention, your time, and your energy have value, and not everyone deserves full access to it. When a woman feels that your presence isn't freely given to everyone, she starts to crave it more. The paradox of restraint is that the less you give, the more they want. And that's not manipulation, that's psychology. Humans desire what they can't easily have, and women are no exception. When you meet a younger woman, she's used to men flooding her with validation, messages, compliments, attention. It's endless. But when she meets a man who doesn't chase, who doesn't rush to please her, something happens inside her mind. She starts questioning, why isn't he reacting like the others? Why is he so calm? Why does he seem so sure of himself? That curiosity becomes attraction because you've shown her something rare, control. Restraint sends a signal that most men can't send, that you are not desperate for her energy, that your emotions are not easily swayed, and that you are not searching for validation. And that's when a woman begins to respect you, because respect always comes before love. She can only be truly attracted to a man she respects. And nothing commands respect more than self-control. Think about it. When you can look at her, feel the chemistry, feel the temptation, but still choose your timing, that's power. That's what makes you unforgettable. The man who doesn't need to touch to prove he's in control becomes more dangerous than the one who rushes in because she knows he could, he just chooses not to. That's what builds mystery. That's what builds emotional depth. She starts wondering what's behind that control, what kind of confidence allows you to stay so calm while her energy is testing you. And that's when she falls, not for what you say, but for what you withhold. Restraint also communicates emotional maturity. It tells her that you're not ruled by impulses. You understand the difference between desire and desperation. You can want someone without needing them. And that kind of energy feels stable, masculine, grounded, qualities younger women subconsciously seek in men. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being selective. You engage with intention, not with hunger. You choose your moments like a man who already knows his worth. When you show restraint, you invite her to lean in. You create the space for her to chase you. And here's the truth. Women love to pursue a man who's emotionally unavailable to everyone else but available to them. It makes her feel special, chosen, elevated. That's the psychological reward of restraint. You're not giving her less, you're giving her the thrill of earning your attention. And when she earns it, she values it far more deeply than anything freely offered. Philosophically, restraint is the mark of a centered man. Someone who understands that control over self is the highest form of freedom. You're not reacting to her beauty, her attention, or her validation. You're responding from choice. And choice is power. A man who can walk away when everything in him wants to stay is a man who cannot be broken. The secret is subtle. Your restraint should never feel like rejection. It should feel like strength. When you're calm, confident, and composed, your energy communicates abundance, that you're not withholding out of fear, but out of clarity. You know your worth. You know what you want. And you're not afraid to wait for it. That kind of energy doesn't just attract women. It transforms the way people experience you. So, the next time you find yourself wanting to prove your desire, stop. Don't rush to text back. Don't reveal everything. Don't make her the center of your attention. Let her feel the quiet challenge of your restraint. Let her wonder what kind of man has the discipline to stay composed in her presence. Because the man who doesn't act on every urge is the man she'll think about long after he's gone. And that's the paradox of attraction. The moment you stop trying to possess her is the moment she becomes drawn to you. Restraint is not about holding back love or emotion. It's about controlling your energy so it earns respect before desire. Remember this, any man can touch her body, but only the rare one who practices restraint will touch her soul.